Hello, this is an unboxing and review of the SteelSeries Straus XL gaming controller for iOS devices. That includes Mac, iPad, iPhone, Apple TV. So it's a nice game controller, connects via Bluetooth. And let's take a look at what's in the box, and then I'll give it a try on some games on my device. So, well, thought that would open it. Alright. Of course, I'll be using my rechargeable inner loop AA's for this. Actually, that looks like AAA's. So, once these are run out, I'll be using my rechargeables. This is roughly the size of an Xbox controller, I think maybe a little bit smaller. You have the same type of buttons on here. You have triggers. You have sidebar buttons and triggers. It's a soft feel. This has a little bit of a click to it, and this is soft, and it's proportional, so it would be good for like acceleration or driving games. Your D-pad. Okay, these don't click down, just so you know. Like an Xbox controller, these buttons would click. Okay. Alright. So, anyway, now that I've had a look here, let's see, there's nothing else in the box but the batteries. So I'm going to come back to you after I've had a chance to connect and try it out, see what I think. Alright, so on to the review portion of my SteelSeries Straus XL game controller for iOS. First, a quick review of the build quality. It is very nice, very sturdy. The sticks have a very good feel. It has a textured top, no slipping at all. Really good quality feel to the stick movement. Nice resistance, not too much, not too little. D-pad feels good, very positive. I can feel a click. The button press when I move it in. These buttons have a nice response. You have the triggers. You know, the configuration is exactly the same as an Xbox controller, with the exception of the sticks not having a clicking function. You can't click these. So when you play certain games that are like ports from consoles, you might lose some functionality because you have basically two less functions that the controller is capable of doing, which is clicking down on these buttons. But yeah, the overall feel and quality of the controller is equivalent to any Xbox 360 controller that you might find, you know, just as an example. And it has a good feeling in the hand, easy to control, feels good. You have your actual on-off switch for power. I have it on at the moment. This button you tap when you need to pair for the first time. Right now I have it paired. I have SteelSeries Straus XL. And if you want to see what games this supports, you can download their iOS app, their SteelSeries Nimbus. This isn't the Nimbus, but the Nimbus is the same thing as this, except it's slightly upgraded. It has force-sensitive buttons. So, and instead of using AA size batteries, two AA's, it has an integrated chargeable battery, and it charges, I think it was via Lightning connection, I forget. So Otherwise, it should be all the same support. So you can download that app, and you can see the games that support this. And it's a great many games. But it's also worth noting that, and you will need a device using iOS 7 or newer. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use it. So iOS 7 and newer is required for using this. But that shouldn't be a problem for most of you that would be considering it anyway. And this will work with your Apple TV. It'll work with Mac. It'll work with your iPad, your iPhone, etc. And games that this won't work with, you would need a different game controller that supports something called iCade. So I'm going to be picking up an iCade compatible controller at some point in the future, and I'll be reviewing one of those as well. So anyway, in the meanwhile, let me run a game. I'm going to start with Grand Theft Auto. You know what? Let me start with Leo's Fortune. Really great game, by the way. Let me start with the introductory. Once you turn the controller on, there's really nothing you need to do. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can skip this. Okay. So let me start again here. See if this was the tutorial. Alright, you notice that since I have the game controller on, it's showing me what movements I would do, like for example here. Or I could use the stick. So whatever you prefer. And also it's very responsive, there's really no lag at all. I mean, it's just as responsive as any wireless game controller that you could use. So this goes up, down, down. So let's do a quick run through this portion of the game. You can see how the game controller is running. The response time from when I press a button to the moment something happens. Oh, you see here, it's saying A. Yeah, you don't need to go to options in any games or anything. Once you have this on and linked, if the game supports it, it should automatically work. Sometimes you can still control it both ways, sometimes you can only control for this, it depends. So anyway, let me jump here. I'll get my gold coin. Another fun way to play this game is if you have an Apple TV, you can mirror the screen to your TV and play it. It's pretty awesome. You have a big screen experience then. So it's working really well. I'm going to be going to Grand Theft Auto San Andreas next. You'll see some driving. Oops. Oh. Alright, let me get out of this here. Let me go to Grand Theft Auto. So again, a downside of running a game like this using the controller is that you're losing a couple of functions. For example, horns, I think we're clicking down on this, but since you don't have that, when you're playing in an emergency vehicle, you can't just toggle the sirens on and off without activating the vigilante missions. And to do that, you would tap this button up. So let me do resume. Now let me grab a car. Song. So there's the horn, my horn. Normally, if you had a clicking button, it would be one of these. So the horn button and the button that activates vigilante missions and ambulance missions and taxi missions is one of the same. So when you're playing using this controller, you can't just hop in a cop car and turn the siren on and off.
Oh, what are you guys doing in there?
Without activating a mission. So, driving is way, way better using a controller for this game. So much better.
Come on, guys. Group hug.
Come on, out of my way. Let's see it.
No, you stupid bitch. High five on Thursday nights on LSBC.
Okay. So that was some GTA for you. Let's maybe do a little Pac-Man. Racing games in general are awesome with this thing. Horse Arcade. Wait a minute. This isn't the classic one. Let me do my pause. I want to do classic, yeah. Okay. So I can use the sticks. I should also be able to use the D-pad as well. So I can go like that. And there you have it. So, you can see this baby is pretty good. We got it there. And there you have it. Overall, this is a really nice controller. Works really well. It certainly makes gaming a lot easier for certain types of games that are pretty much unplayable without a controller. And again, my only kind of negative would be that you can't click these buttons. So on some games, you don't get quite all the level of functionality as you would otherwise. But it's still good enough though, regardless. I don't even know if there are any controllers that like this that have the clicking button. So if I do find one, I'll definitely get one and review it. So anyway, please hit that like button if you found this video helpful at all and would like to see more, and also and subscribe if you want to see additional videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.